You know what keeps you awake at night, don't you? It's not the coffee you drank at 3 in the afternoon. It's not the noise from the street. It's not even your partner's snoring. It's the relentless voice in your head, the one that won't shut up, the one that replays every mistake you've ever made, every opportunity you've missed, every word you wish you hadn't said. That voice is killing you slowly, night after night, stealing your peace, your rest, your very life force. And the tragedy, the real tragedy, is that you've become so accustomed to this torture that you think it's normal. You think everyone lies awake at 3 in the morning with their heart racing and their mind spinning like a broken record. Well, let me tell you something that might shock you. This is not normal. This is not how life is supposed to be. And if you continue like this, you will not just lose your sleep, you will lose yourself entirely. Listen to me carefully, because what I'm about to share with you tonight could change everything. I've spent decades watching people, observing them, understanding the mechanics of human suffering, and I can tell you with absolute certainty that your inability to sleep peacefully is not a small problem. It's a symptom of something much deeper, something that's eating you alive from the inside. You're at an age now, 45, 50, 60, where you should be enjoying the fruits of your labor, where you should be experiencing the wisdom that comes with years, but instead you're more anxious than ever, more restless, more disconnected from yourself. And you know what the irony is? The irony is that you have everything you thought you needed. You have the house, maybe the partner, perhaps the career, possibly the savings account, and yet you cannot do the simplest thing a human being should be able to do naturally: fall asleep peacefully. I want you to imagine something with me right now. Imagine it's 11 o'clock at night. You've finished your day, you've done all your tasks, you've checked all your boxes, you brush your teeth, you wash your face, you put on your comfortable clothes, and you lie down in your bed. The bed is comfortable, the room is dark, the temperature is just right. Everything is perfect for sleep. But the moment your head hits the pillow, what happens? Your mind suddenly becomes a marketplace, doesn't it? Thoughts start rushing in from everywhere. Did I send that email? What did she mean when she said that? Why did I say that stupid thing 15 years ago? What if I get sick? What if I run out of money? What if my children don't really love me? What if I wasted my entire life? On and on and on, an endless parade of worries, regrets, anxieties, and fears. You try to push them away, but that only makes them stronger. You try to think positive thoughts, but they feel fake, hollow. You look at the clock, 11:30, then midnight, then 1 o'clock. And with each passing hour, a new anxiety joins the party. The anxiety about not sleeping. Now, you're not just worried about everything else. You're worried that you won't sleep, that you'll be tired tomorrow, that this will affect your health, your work, your relationships. You're anxious about being anxious. You're suffering about suffering. This is the human condition in its most absurd form. Now, here's what I need you to understand, and this is critical. If you don't address this now, if you don't learn how to quiet your mind and find genuine peace, you will lose more than just sleep. You will lose your health, because chronic sleep deprivation destroys your immune system, increases your risk of heart disease, diabetes, and even cancer. You will lose your relationships because when you're exhausted and irritable, you cannot show up as the partner, the parent, the friend that you want to be. You will lose your mental clarity, your creativity, your ability to make good decisions. You will lose opportunities because while you're dragging yourself through life in a fog of exhaustion, others who have mastered the art of rest will be seizing the chances that should be yours. And perhaps most tragically, you will lose time, precious time that you can never get back. Every night you lie awake is a night stolen from your life. Every morning you wake up exhausted is a morning you cannot fully live. Do you understand what I'm saying? This is not a minor inconvenience. This is an emergency. This is your life slipping away one sleepless night at a time. But it gets worse. And I'm not telling you this to depress you. I'm telling you this because you need to feel the full weight of what's at stake. If you continue on this path, if you keep treating your sleeplessness as just a little problem that you'll deal with someday, you will wake up one morning, maybe 5 years from now, maybe 10, and you will realize that you've spent the best years of your life in a state of exhaustion. You will look in the mirror and see someone who looks 20 years older than they should. You will try to remember the last time you felt truly rested, truly peaceful, truly alive, and you won't be able to. The people around you will have moved on with their lives, vibrant and energetic, while you've been stuck in this prison of insomnia and anxiety. Your partner, if you have one, might have found someone else who actually has the energy to be present, to be passionate, to be fun. Your career opportunities will have gone to people who could think clearly and perform consistently. Your health will have deteriorated to the point where you're managing multiple conditions with multiple medications. And the worst part, the absolute worst part, is that you will know deep in your heart that it didn't have to be this way. You will know that there was a moment, this moment right now, when you could have chosen differently. You could have decided to learn what I'm about to teach you. You could have committed to transforming your relationship with sleep, with your mind, with yourself. But you didn't. You let this moment pass. You told yourself you'd deal with it later. And now, later has come and it's too late. Are you feeling it? That tightness in your chest? That's fear, and it's appropriate. You should be afraid. You should be terrified of wasting any more of your precious life in this state of restless suffering. But here's the beautiful thing about fear. When used correctly, it can be the greatest motivator for change. So let's use it. Let's take that fear and transform it into fuel for transformation. Because I'm going to tell you something now that might surprise you. Falling asleep peacefully is not complicated. It's actually one of the simplest things in the world. But simple doesn't mean easy, especially when you've spent years, maybe decades, training your mind to do exactly the opposite. You've trained your mind to be active at night, to worry, to analyze, to plan, to regret. You've trained it so well that now it does this automatically without your permission. But here's the good news. Anything that has been learned can be unlearned. Any habit can be changed. Any pattern can be broken. And I'm going to show you exactly how to do it, step by step, technique by technique, until falling asleep peacefully becomes as natural for you as breathing. Now, before we go any further, I need to tell you something about meditation, because that's what we're really talking about here. When most people hear the word meditation, they immediately create a picture in their minds. They see some old man sitting cross-legged on a mountain, completely still, probably uncomfortable, doing nothing, achieving nothing, wasting time. Or they think of it as some religious practice, something exotic, something that's not for them. Or they think it's about forcing your mind to be blank, which sounds impossible and frankly quite boring. Let me destroy all of these misconceptions right now. Meditation is none of these things. Meditation is simply the art of being present, of being aware, of being here now instead of lost in the endless chatter of your mind. It's not about religion. It's not about sitting in uncomfortable positions. It's not about forcing anything. It's about learning to observe your thoughts without getting caught in them, to witness your emotions without being controlled by them, to experience life directly instead of through the filter of your conditioned mind. And when it comes to sleep, meditation is the most powerful tool that exists, bar none. No pill, no technique, no therapy can match what meditation can do for your sleep, because meditation addresses the root cause of sleeplessness, the overactive, untrained mind. Let me give you a framework, a way of understanding this that will make everything else I tell you make sense. Your mind has two modes, doing mode and being mode. Doing mode is when you're focused on tasks, on goals, on problems to solve, on things to achieve. This mode is useful during the day. It's how you get things done, how you navigate the world, how you survive. But doing mode is absolutely useless for sleep. In fact, it's the enemy of sleep. When you're in doing mode, your mind is looking for problems to solve, and it will always find them because life always has problems. Your mind in doing mode will never say, well, everything is perfect, I guess I'll just shut down now. That's not how it works. Doing mode is designed to find issues and fix them, so it will keep finding issues forever. Being mode, on the other hand, is when you're simply present, aware, observing, experiencing. In being mode, you're not trying to change anything, fix anything, achieve anything. You're just here, now, witnessing what is. And this mode, being mode, is the natural precursor to sleep. Think about it. What are you doing when you're asleep? Nothing. You're not achieving, not solving, not doing. You're just being. So if you want to fall asleep, you need to shift from doing mode to being mode. And meditation is the bridge. Meditation trains you to make this shift consciously, deliberately, whenever you choose. Here's the first technique, and I want you to really listen to this because it's foundational. It's called the witness meditation, and it's so simple that your mind will probably dismiss it at first. Don't let it. This technique alone, practiced consistently, can transform your sleep completely. Here's how it works. When you lie down in bed tonight, instead of trying to fall asleep, instead of trying to quiet your mind, instead of trying to do anything at all, simply observe. Watch your thoughts like you would watch clouds passing in the sky. A thought comes, I'm worried about money. You don't engage with it, You don't try to solve it. You don't push it away. You simply notice, ah, there's a thought about money. That's it. Then another thought comes, my back hurts. You notice, ah, there's a sensation of discomfort. You don't judge it, you don't try to fix it, you just observe it. Another thought, this isn't working, I'm never going to fall asleep. You observe, ah, there's a thought about this not working. Do you see what's happening here? You're creating a gap between you and your thoughts. You're realizing that you are not your thoughts. You are the one observing the thoughts. This is revolutionary. Because once you realize you're not your thoughts, they lose their power over you. They can come and go and you remain peaceful, watching them like a scientist watches an experiment, with curiosity and detachment. Now, your mind will resist this. It will say, this is boring, this is pointless, this isn't working, I should be doing something more active. Notice that these are just more thoughts to observe. Your mind has been in control for so long that it doesn't want to give up that control. It will create all kinds of drama to pull you back into engagement. It will bring up your most compelling worries, your most seductive fantasies, your most persistent regrets. Let it do its little show. You just keep witnessing. Think of yourself as sitting in a movie theater, watching a film. The film might be dramatic, scary, sad, exciting, but you're not in the film. You're in the audience, watching. Your thoughts are the film. You are the audience. This distinction is everything. Practice this tonight and tomorrow night and every night. At first, you might only be able to witness for a few seconds before you get pulled back into thinking. That's fine. The moment you realize you've been pulled in, you've already stepped back into witnessing. That realization itself is witnessing. Over time, you'll be able to witness for longer and longer periods. And here's what will happen. As you witness your thoughts without engaging with them, they will naturally slow down. They'll become less frequent, less intense, less compelling. And in the gaps between thoughts, you'll experience something you may not have felt in years. Peace, real peace. Not the peace that comes from having solved all your problems, but the peace that exists underneath all problems. The peace that is your true nature. Let me ask you something, and I want you to really consider this. When was the last time you experienced true silence? Not the absence of external noise, but internal silence. When was the last time your mind was quiet, even for a moment? For most people, the answer is never, or so long ago they can't remember. You've been living with constant mental noise for so long that you think it's normal. You think it's just how life is, but it's not. Internal silence is your birthright. It's the natural state of consciousness. All this noise, all this chatter, all this thinking is something you've learned, something you've been conditioned into. And just as you learned it, you can unlearn it. But you have to want it. You have to want silence more than you want to solve your problems, more than you want to plan your future, more than you want to rehash your past. Because here's the paradox. The moment you stop trying to solve your problems through thinking, many of them solve themselves. The moment you stop planning every detail of your future, the right actions become obvious. The moment you stop rehashing your past, you're free to create a new present. But you can't think your way to this understanding. You have to experience it. And that's what meditation gives you: direct experience of a different way of being. Here's the second technique, and this one works beautifully in combination with the first. It's called the body scan, and it's based on a simple principle: your mind and body are intimately connected. When your mind is tense, your body is tense. When your body relaxes, your mind relaxes. So, we're going to use the body as a doorway to mental peace. Here's how you do it. Lying in bed, bring your attention to your toes. Just your toes. Feel them. Are they warm or cold? Tense or relaxed? Don't try to change anything. Just observe. Spend maybe 10 or 15 seconds just feeling your toes with your full attention. Then move your attention to your feet. Feel your feet, the soles, the tops, the ankles. Again, just observing, not changing. Then your calves. Feel the muscles, the skin, the temperature. Then your knees, then your thighs. Slowly, methodically, move your attention up through your entire body, your hips, your lower back, your stomach, your chest, your upper back, your shoulders, your arms, your hands, your neck, your face, the top of your head. Take your time with each part. Really feel it. What you're doing here is two things simultaneously. First, you're giving your mind something specific to focus on, which prevents it from wandering into worry and planning. Second, you're bringing awareness to tension in your body that you didn't even know was there. And awareness itself releases tension. You'll be amazed at how much tension you're carrying. Your jaw might be clenched. Your shoulders might be up around your ears. Your stomach might be tight. Your fists might be curled. All of this tension is keeping you awake, and you didn't even know it was there. As you bring awareness to each body part, you might notice it naturally relaxing. If it doesn't, that's fine too. Remember, we're not trying to force anything. We're just observing. But observation itself is transformative. Now, here's where it gets interesting. As you do this body scan, you'll notice that your mind will wander. You'll be feeling your knees, and suddenly you'll realize you're thinking about a conversation you had 3 days ago. This is not failure. This is completely normal. The moment you notice your mind has wandered, that's a moment of awakening. That's a moment of consciousness. Simply bring your attention back to wherever you were in the body scan. If you were at your knees, come back to your knees. You might have to do this 50 times in one session. That's fine. Each time you bring your attention back, you are strengthening your awareness muscle. You're training your mind to follow your direction instead of running wild. This is the practice. This is meditation. It's not about achieving some perfect state where your mind never wanders. It's about noticing when it wanders and bringing it back again and again with patience and without judgment. And here's what happens over time. The wandering becomes less frequent, the return becomes quicker, and the periods of focused awareness become longer and deeper. And during those periods of focused awareness on your body, your mind cannot simultaneously be worrying about the future or regretting the past. It's impossible to fully feel your body and fully think about your problems at the same time. The body is always in the present moment. So, when you're fully in your body, you're fully in the present. And the present moment has no problems. Problems exist in the past as regrets, or in the future as worries. But right now, in this exact moment, if you're simply lying in bed, feeling your body, there is no problem. There is just sensation, just experience, just being. Let me tell you something that might surprise you. Your exhaustion is not primarily physical. Yes, your body needs rest, but what's really exhausting you is your mind. Think about it. You can lie in bed for 8 hours, tossing and turning, thinking and worrying, and wake up more tired than when you went to bed. Why? Because your mind never rested. Your mind was working all night, burning energy, creating stress hormones, keeping your nervous system activated. On the other hand, you can sleep for just 5 or 6 hours, but if that sleep is deep and peaceful, you can wake up refreshed and energized. The difference is not the quantity of time in bed, it's the quality of rest your mind experiences. And the quality of your mind's rest depends entirely on your ability to let go of thinking, to surrender into being, to trust the process of sleep instead of trying to control it. This is why meditation is so powerful for sleep. It trains you to let go, to surrender, to trust. These are not things you can do through effort. They happen through non-effort, through relaxation, through acceptance. And that's a skill, a learnable skill, and I'm teaching it to you right now. Here's the third technique, and this one is particularly powerful for people whose minds are very active, very analytical, very verbal. It's called the breath counting meditation. You've probably heard about breathing techniques before, and maybe you've tried some and found them boring or ineffective. This is different. Here's how it works. Lying in bed, bring your attention to your breath. Don't change it, don't deepen it, don't control it in any way. Just observe it as it is. Feel the air coming in through your nostrils. Feel your chest or belly rising. Feel the air going out. Feel your chest or belly falling. Just observe this natural process for a few breaths, getting familiar with it. Then start counting your breaths. As you inhale, mentally count 1. As you exhale, count 2. Next inhale, 3. Next exhale, 4. Continue up to 10 and then start over at 1. That's it. Simple, right? But here's what makes it powerful. The counting gives your mind just enough to do that it doesn't wander into worry, but not so much that it becomes stimulating. It's the perfect balance. And every time you lose count, which you will, you simply start over at 1. No judgment, no frustration, just start over. What you're doing is training your mind to stay focused on something neutral, something that's happening right now, something that has no emotional charge. Your breath has no past, no future, no problems, no solutions. It's just happening moment by moment. And as you follow it, you're pulled into the present moment, out of your thinking mind, into your witnessing consciousness. Now, let me tell you why the breath is particularly powerful. Your breath is the bridge between your conscious and unconscious mind, between your voluntary and involuntary nervous system. You can control your breath consciously, but it also happens automatically when you're not thinking about it. This makes it unique, and your breath directly affects your nervous system. When you're anxious, your breath becomes shallow and rapid. When you're calm, your breath becomes deep and slow. But here's the key. This relationship works both ways. Just as your mental state affects your breath affects your mental state. So, when you bring calm, steady attention to your breath, your nervous system receives the message that everything is okay, that there's no danger, that it's safe to relax. Your body starts producing calming neurotransmitters instead of stress hormones. Your heart rate slows, your blood pressure drops, your muscles release tension. All of this happens naturally, automatically, just from paying attention to your breath. You don't have to force anything. You don't have to try to relax. Relaxation happens as a natural consequence of this focused attention. This is the beauty of meditation. It works with your body's natural wisdom instead of against it. Let me share something with you now, something from my own experience, because I think it will help you understand what's possible. There was a time in my life when I too struggled with sleep. This was many years ago, before I understood what I'm teaching you now. My mind was constantly active, constantly analyzing, constantly seeking, constantly questioning. I would lie in bed and my mind would explore philosophical questions, spiritual concepts, life's mysteries. It was fascinating, stimulating, exciting, and absolutely exhausting. I thought this was just how I was, that my mind was too active to ever be quiet, that peace was for simple people with simple minds. How arrogant I was, how ignorant. Then one night, something shifted. I was lying in bed, my mind racing as usual, when suddenly I had a thought. Who is thinking these thoughts? It was a simple question, but it stopped everything. I turned my attention away from the thoughts themselves and toward the one who was aware of the thoughts. And in that moment, I realized I am not my thoughts. I am the space in which thoughts appear. I am the awareness that witnesses thinking. This realization was like waking up from a dream. Suddenly, all those thoughts that had seemed so important, so compelling, so real, were just events happening in consciousness, no more substantial than clouds passing through the sky. And I, the real I, was the sky itself, vast, unchanging, peaceful, always here. From that night forward, sleep became effortless, not because my mind stopped producing thoughts, but because I stopped identifying with them. They could come and go, and I remained at peace, watching them like a parent watches children playing with affection but without getting caught up in their drama. Now, I'm not telling you this story so you'll try to have the same realization. You can't try to have a realization. That's a contradiction. Realizations happen spontaneously when the conditions are right. What I'm telling you is that the techniques I'm teaching you create the conditions for this kind of shift. Every time you witness your thoughts, every time you bring your attention back to your body or your breath, every time you choose presence over thinking, you're creating the possibility for a fundamental shift in your relationship with your mind. And even if that big shift never happens, the practices themselves are valuable. They will improve your sleep, reduce your anxiety, increase your peace, enhance your well-being. That's guaranteed if you practice consistently. But there's also the possibility of something more, something beyond just better sleep. The possibility of awakening to who you really are beyond your thoughts, beyond your emotions, beyond your history, beyond your identity. The possibility of discovering the consciousness that you are, the awareness that has been here all along, watching everything, untouched by anything, forever peaceful, forever free. But let's come back to practical matters, because I know your mind is probably starting to wander, starting to question, starting to doubt. Let me give you the fourth technique, and this one addresses a specific problem that many people face: racing thoughts about specific worries. Maybe you're worried about money, or your health, or a relationship, or a decision you have to make. And this worry keeps coming back again and again, no matter how many times you try to push it away. Here's what you do. Instead of trying to push the worry away, which never works, you're going to give it space, but in a controlled way. This technique is called worry time. And here's how it works. Before you get into bed, sit down with a piece of paper and a pen. Set a timer for 10 minutes. During those 10 minutes, write down everything you're worried about. Everything. Don't hold back, don't censor, don't try to solve anything. Just dump it all onto the paper. Money worries, health worries, relationship worries, existential worries, everything. Write quickly, don't worry about grammar or organization. Just get it all out. When the timer goes off, stop writing. Read over what you've written once, quickly. Then, and this is important, say to yourself, I've acknowledged these worries. I've given them their time. Now I'm setting them aside until tomorrow. If they're still important tomorrow, I'll deal with them then. But for now, they're done. Then put the paper away somewhere you can't see it and go to bed. What you've done here is brilliant, even if it doesn't seem like it at first. You've honored your worries instead of fighting them, which paradoxically reduces their power. You've contained them in a specific time and place instead of letting them spread throughout your entire night. And you've made an agreement with your mind. These concerns will be addressed, just not now. Your mind can accept this. What your mind can't accept is being told, don't worry about this, because that feels like denial, like you're ignoring something important. But when you say, I see this worry, I've written it down, I'll deal with it tomorrow if needed, your mind can relax. It's been heard, and here's what you'll discover. Most of the things you worry about at night seem much less important in the morning. Many of them resolve themselves without any action from you. Some of them you realize aren't even real problems, just your mind creating drama. And the few that are genuine concerns, you can address them more effectively when you're well rested than when you're lying in bed at 2 in the morning, exhausted and anxious. So this technique serves multiple purposes. It helps you sleep better tonight. It helps you realize that most worries are not as serious as they seem. And it helps you address real concerns more effectively during the day. Now, combine this with the other techniques. Do your worry time before bed. Then get into bed and start with the witness meditation, observing your thoughts without engagement. If a worry thought comes up, you can remind yourself, I've already given this its time. It's written down. I'll address it tomorrow if needed. Then move into the body scan, bringing your attention systematically through your body. Then shift to the breath counting, following your breath from 1 to 10 over and over. Do you see how these techniques work together? Each one supports the others. Each one brings you deeper into presence, further from thinking, closer to the state that naturally leads to sleep. And here's the beautiful thing: even if you don't fall asleep right away, you're still benefiting. Your body is relaxed. Your nervous system is calming. You're not creating stress hormones. Lying in bed in a meditative state is almost as restorative as sleep itself. So you can't fail. If you fall asleep, great. If you don't, you're still practicing meditation, still gaining the benefits, still training your mind, still moving toward transformation. There's no pressure, no goal, no way to do it wrong. This removes the performance anxiety that so many people have around sleep, the anxiety that actually prevents sleep. You're not trying to sleep anymore. You're just practicing being present. And sleep comes as a natural byproduct of that presence. Let me address something else that might be troubling you: the question of whether you have time for all this. You might be thinking, this sounds great, but I'm busy. I don't have time to write down my worries, do a body scan, count my breaths. I just want to fall asleep quickly. I understand this thought. I really do. But let me ask you, how much time are you currently spending lying awake at night? An hour? 2 hours? More? How much time are you spending during the day being exhausted, unfocused, ineffective because you didn't sleep well? How much time have you lost over the years to this problem? Probably thousands of hours. So what I'm asking you to invest is maybe 20 or 30 minutes a night for a few weeks until these practices become natural and automatic. That's a tiny investment compared to what you're already losing. And here's the thing: once you've trained your mind, once these practices become habitual, you won't need to do all of them every night. You'll be able to fall asleep quickly and naturally. But right now, you need to retrain your mind, and that requires some time and effort. It's like learning any skill. At first, it requires conscious attention and practice, but eventually it becomes automatic. You don't think about how to ride a bicycle once you've learned, you just ride. Same with meditation for sleep. Right now, you have to practice consciously. Soon, it will be effortless. Here's the fifth technique, and this one is for people who wake up in the middle of the night and can't fall back asleep. This is a particularly frustrating experience, isn't it? You fall asleep fine, but then you wake up at 2 or 3 or 4 in the morning, and suddenly your mind is wide awake, racing with thoughts. And you know you need to sleep because you have to wake up in a few hours, but you can't, and the anxiety about not sleeping makes it even harder to sleep. It's a vicious cycle. Here's how to break it. First, don't fight it. Don't lie there trying to force yourself back to sleep. That never works. Instead, accept that you're awake. Say to yourself, okay, I'm awake right now. That's fine. I don't need to sleep this very second. I can just rest. This acceptance immediately reduces the anxiety. Then do this. Get out of bed. I know that sounds counterintuitive, but trust me. Get out of bed and go to another room if possible. Sit in a comfortable chair. Don't turn on bright lights. Use a dim lamp or even just moonlight if possible. And then meditate. Do the witness meditation or the breath counting, or just sit in silence observing your mind. Do this for 15 or 20 minutes or until you feel genuinely sleepy again. Then go back to bed. What you're doing is breaking the association between your bed and wakefulness. If you lie in bed awake for hours, night after night, your mind starts to associate your bed with being awake and anxious instead of with sleep. By getting up when you can't sleep, you preserve the bed as a place for sleep only. And by meditating instead of trying to sleep, you remove the pressure and anxiety which allows sleepiness to return naturally. I want to talk to you now about something deeper, something that goes beyond techniques, something that's really at the heart of this whole issue. The reason you can't sleep is not just that your mind is too active, it's that you're afraid. You might not consciously recognize it as fear, but that's what it is. You're afraid of letting go. You're afraid of not being in control. You're afraid that if you stop thinking, stop planning, stop worrying, something bad will happen. You've been conditioned to believe that your constant mental vigilance is what keeps you safe, what solves your problems, what makes you successful. So even though you want to sleep, even though you're exhausted, part of you resists because part of you believes that letting go is dangerous. This is the human condition. We're terrified of surrender. We want to control everything, manage everything, understand everything. And sleep requires the opposite. It requires surrender, trust, letting go of control. This is why meditation is not just a technique for better sleep. It's a spiritual practice. It's teaching you to trust life, to trust existence, to trust that you don't have to control everything, that it's safe to let go, that the universe will continue without your constant management. And this lesson, this deep existential lesson, transforms not just your sleep, but your entire life. Think about it. What are you really doing when you lie awake, worrying? You're trying to control the future through thinking. You believe that if you think about your problems enough, you'll find solutions, you'll prevent disasters, you'll ensure good outcomes. But has this ever really worked? Has worrying ever actually solved the problem? Or has it just made you miserable while the problem either resolved itself or didn't? Real solutions come from a clear, rested mind, not from an anxious, exhausted mind. Real action comes from presence and awareness, not from compulsive thinking. So your worrying is not just ineffective, it's counterproductive. It's making you less capable of dealing with your actual life. This is the great irony. The very thing you think is protecting you, your constant mental activity, is actually harming you. And the thing you're afraid of, letting go and resting, is actually what would serve you best. But you can't understand this intellectually. You have to experience it. You have to take the risk of letting go, even just for a few moments, and discovering that nothing bad happens. In fact, something good happens. You feel peace, and that peace gives you a taste of what's possible, a glimpse of a different way of being. And that glimpse motivates you to practice more, to let go more, to trust more. And gradually, over time, your whole relationship with life transforms. Let me give you the sixth technique now. And this one is specifically for people who have a lot of physical tension and discomfort that prevents sleep. Maybe you have chronic pain, or your body is just generally uncomfortable, or you're very aware of every little sensation and it bothers you. This technique is called progressive muscle relaxation, and it's beautifully simple. Here's how it works. Starting with your feet, tense the muscles as tightly as you can. Curl your toes, flex your feet, make everything tight and hard. Hold this tension for about 5 seconds. Really feel it. Then, suddenly, release all the tension completely. Let everything go, soft and loose. Feel the difference between tension and relaxation. Feel the relief, the softness, the letting go. Rest for about 10 seconds, just experiencing this relaxed state. Then move to your calves. Tense them hard for 5 seconds, then release completely. Then your thighs, tense and release. Then your buttocks, your stomach, your chest, your back, your arms, your hands, your shoulders, your neck, your face. Go through your entire body, tensing each part intensely and then releasing it completely. What you're doing is teaching your body the difference between tension and relaxation. Most people are so habitually tense that they don't even know what relaxation feels like anymore. They think they're relaxed when really they're just less tense than usual. This technique shows you what real relaxation is, and it shows your body how to access it. And here's the magic. When you release the physical tension, mental tension releases too. They're connected. A relaxed body leads to a relaxed mind, and a relaxed mind leads to sleep. Now, you might be wondering, how long is this going to take? When will I see results? And I understand this question because you've probably been suffering for a long time and you want relief now. Here's the truth. Some people experience dramatic improvement the very first night they practice these techniques. They fall asleep faster and sleep more deeply than they have in years. Other people need a few weeks of consistent practice before they notice significant changes. And a few people need longer, especially if their sleep problems are severe or long-standing. But here's what I can promise you. If you practice these techniques consistently, every single night, you will see improvement. It's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. Because these techniques work with your body and mind's natural processes. They are not trying to force something unnatural. They are removing the obstacles to your natural ability to sleep. And those obstacles, the mental habits and physical tensions, they took time to develop and they'll take some time to dissolve. But they will dissolve. Every night you practice, you're weakening those old patterns and strengthening new ones. You're retraining your nervous system, reprogramming your mind, teaching your body how to rest. This is real change, lasting change, not just a temporary fix. So be patient with yourself, be consistent, and trust the process. Let me tell you about something that's probably happening to you right now as you listen to this. Your mind is evaluating, judging, comparing. It's saying things like, this sounds good, but will it work for me? I'm different. My problems are special. Maybe this works for other people, but not for me. Or it's saying, I've tried things like this before and they didn't work. Or it's saying, this is too simple. Real solutions must be more complicated. Do you hear it? That's your mind doing what it does, creating doubt, creating separation, creating reasons why you can't change. And here's what I want you to understand. That voice, that doubting, judging, comparing voice, that's the same voice that keeps you awake at night. That's the voice of the conditioned mind, the fearful ego, the part of you that resists change because change feels dangerous. Don't believe it. Don't argue with it either. That just gives it more energy. Just observe it. Notice, ah, there's the doubting voice again. Witness it like you would witness any other thought, and then come back to what I'm teaching you. Come back to the techniques, come back to the practice, because the proof is not in the thinking about it. The proof is in the doing. You could spend years thinking about whether meditation will work for you, or you could spend 20 minutes tonight actually practicing and finding out directly. Which approach makes more sense? Here's the seventh technique, and this one might seem unusual, but it's incredibly powerful. It's based on a paradox. The more you try to fall asleep, the more awake you become. The effort itself creates tension, and tension prevents sleep. So this technique is about doing the opposite, trying to stay awake. Here's how it works. Lie in bed, get comfortable, and then make a gentle effort to stay awake. Keep your eyes open, looking softly at the ceiling or the darkness. Say to yourself, I'm going to stay awake. I'm not going to let myself fall asleep. And then just lie there, trying to stay awake, but without doing anything stimulating. Don't think about problems, don't plan, don't worry. Just lie there with the simple intention to stay awake. What happens? Within minutes, you'll probably start feeling sleepy. Your eyes will want to close. Your mind will start to drift. And because you're not trying to sleep, because there's no pressure, no anxiety, no goal, sleep comes naturally. This technique works because it removes the performance anxiety around sleep. You're not trying to achieve anything, so you can't fail. And paradoxically, this makes success inevitable. I know it sounds strange, but try it. You'll be amazed. Now, let's talk about something that's probably affecting your sleep more than you realize. Your daytime habits. You can't expect to practice these techniques at night and have perfect sleep if you're spending your entire day in a state of stress, anxiety, and mental agitation. Sleep is not separate from the rest of your life. It's a reflection of it. If your days are chaotic, your nights will be chaotic. If your days are peaceful, your nights will be peaceful. So, what I'm really teaching you is not just about sleep, it's about a whole way of living. Let me be specific. What are you consuming during the day? I'm not just talking about food and drink, though those matter too. I'm talking about what you are feeding your mind. Are you constantly consuming news, social media, drama, conflict, negativity? Are you watching violent or disturbing content? Are you engaging in gossip and complaint? All of this creates agitation in your mind, and that agitation doesn't just disappear when you decide it's time to sleep. It lingers, it accumulates, it becomes the background noise of your consciousness. So, if you want to sleep peacefully, you need to be more conscious about what you consume during the day. This doesn't mean you have to avoid all news or never watch television. It means you have to be selective, intentional, aware. Ask yourself, is this feeding my peace or my agitation? Is this nourishing my well-being or depleting it? And choose accordingly. What about your relationships? Are you spending time with people who drain you, stress you, create drama? Or are you cultivating relationships that nourish you, support you, bring you peace? This matters more than you might think. Human beings are social creatures. We're deeply affected by the people around us. If you spend your day in toxic relationships, absorbing other people's anxiety and negativity, you'll carry that into the night. So, part of creating good sleep is creating good boundaries, choosing consciously who you spend time with and how much energy you give to relationships that don't serve your well being. I know this can be difficult, especially with family or long term relationships. I'm not saying you have to cut people out of your life, but you do have to protect your energy, your peace, your mental space. Sometimes that means limiting time with certain people. Sometimes it means not engaging with their drama. Sometimes it means saying no when you would have automatically said yes before. This is not selfish, this is self care. And self care is essential for good sleep. What about your work? Are you working in a way that's sustainable? Or are you pushing yourself to exhaustion? Are you taking breaks during the day? Or are you going non stop from morning to night? Are you bringing work stress home with you, checking emails late at night, thinking about work problems when you should be relaxing? All of this affects your sleep. Your body and mind need transition time between work mode and rest mode. If you're working until the moment you get into bed, your nervous system is still in high gear, still producing stress hormones, still in fight or flight mode. You can't expect to flip a switch and suddenly be relaxed and sleepy. You need to create a wind down period, at least an hour before bed, where you're not working, not dealing with stressful issues, not engaging in stimulating activities. This is sacred time. Time for your nervous system to downshift, for your mind to quiet, for your body to prepare for rest. What you do during this time matters. Gentle activities are best. Reading something peaceful, listening to calm music, taking a warm bath, doing some light stretching, spending quiet time with loved ones, or practicing meditation. Avoid screens if possible because the blue light interferes with your body's production of melatonin, the sleep hormone. If you must use screens, at least use blue light filters. But really, this hour before bed should be screen free if you want optimal sleep. Let me give you the eighth technique now, and this one combines sound and meditation in a powerful way. It's called the inner sound meditation, and it's based on something you've probably noticed but never paid attention to. There's a subtle sound inside your head, a kind of ringing or buzzing or humming. It's always there, but usually you don't notice it because you're focused on external sounds or internal thoughts. This sound, which some traditions call the sound of silence or the inner sound, is actually a doorway to deep meditation. Here's how to use it. Lying in bed in silence, close your eyes and listen, not to external sounds, but to the sound inside your head. At first, you might not hear anything. That's okay. Just keep listening with your attention turned inward. After a while, you'll start to notice a subtle sound, maybe like a high-pitched ringing or a low hum or something in between. It's different for everyone. Once you've found it, focus all your attention on it. Listen to it as if it's the most fascinating sound you've ever heard. Follow it, merge with it, become absorbed in it. As you do this, your mind will naturally quiet because you can't listen to this subtle inner sound and think at the same time. It requires your full attention. And as your mind quiets, you'll drift naturally into a state that's very close to sleep. Or you might enter a deep meditative state that's as restful as sleep. Or you might actually fall asleep. All of these outcomes are beneficial. Now, some of you might be thinking, this all sounds very spiritual, very esoteric. What about science? What does science say about meditation and sleep? Let me tell you, science completely supports what I'm teaching you. There have been hundreds of studies on meditation and sleep, and the results are clear and consistent. Meditation reduces the time it takes to fall asleep, increases the duration of deep sleep, reduces nighttime awakenings, and improves overall sleep quality. The mechanisms are well understood. Meditation reduces activity in the default mode network of the brain, the network that's responsible for mind wandering and self-referential thinking. It activates the parasympathetic nervous system, the rest and digest system, which counteracts the fight or flight stress response. It reduces levels of cortisol and other stress hormones while increasing production of melatonin and other calming neurotransmitters. It synchronizes brainwave patterns in ways that promote deep relaxation and sleep. All of this is measurable, verifiable, scientific fact. So if you're someone who needs scientific validation, you have it. Meditation for sleep is not just some mystical belief. It's a scientifically proven intervention that's as effective as medication for many people and more effective for some, with zero negative side effects and numerous positive side effects, including reduced anxiety, improved mood, better focus, enhanced immune function, and increased overall well-being. But here's what science can't measure, and this is important: the subjective quality of the peace you experience through meditation. Science can measure your brain waves and your hormone levels and your sleep stages, but it can't measure the felt sense of coming home to yourself, of discovering an inner silence that's always been there, of realizing that you are not your thoughts, of touching something vast and eternal within yourself. This is the real gift of meditation, and it goes far beyond better sleep. Better sleep is wonderful, and it's a great motivation to start practicing. But it's just the beginning. What you're really doing when you meditate is waking up to your true nature, to the consciousness that you are, to the awareness that has been here all along, witnessing everything untouched by anything. And once you touch this, once you experience it directly, your whole life changes. Your priorities shift, your values clarify, your relationships transform, your work becomes more meaningful, your challenges become more manageable. Not because your external circumstances change, though they might, but because you change. You become grounded in something deeper than circumstances, something that circumstances can't touch. And from this grounding, you navigate life with more wisdom, more peace, more effectiveness, more joy. Let me share the ninth technique with you. And this one is particularly good for people who have a very active visual imagination. It's called visualization for sleep, and it works by giving your mind something peaceful and pleasant to focus on instead of worries and problems. Here's how you do it. Lying in bed, close your eyes and imagine a place where you feel completely safe, peaceful, and relaxed. This could be a real place you've been, like a beach or a forest or a mountain meadow, or it could be an imaginary place. The important thing is that it feels peaceful to you. Now, build this place in your mind with as much sensory detail as possible. If it's a beach, see the ocean, hear the waves, feel the warm sand under your body, smell the salt air, feel the gentle breeze on your skin. Make it as vivid and real as possible. Spend time exploring this place in your imagination. Walk around, notice details, let yourself really be there. As you do this, your mind is focused on something pleasant and calming instead of on worries and problems. Your body responds to this visualization as if it's real, releasing tension, slowing your heart rate, deepening your breath. And because the scene is peaceful, your mind becomes peaceful. You might fall asleep while doing this visualization, or you might enter a deeply relaxed meditative state. Either way, you're resting, you're not creating stress, and you're training your mind to focus on peace instead of problems. Now, I want to address something that some of you might be experiencing: resistance. You're listening to all of this, and part of you is interested, but another part of you is resisting, making excuses, finding reasons why you can't practice, why it won't work, why you should just give up and accept that you'll never sleep well. This resistance is normal. It's your ego's defense mechanism. Your ego, your conditioned mind, has been running your life for decades. It doesn't want to give up control. It doesn't want you to discover that you don't need it, that there's a deeper intelligence within you that knows how to live, how to rest, how to be. So it creates resistance. It says you're too busy, too tired, too stressed, too special, too different. It says this is all nonsense, that you should just take a pill and forget about it. Don't believe it. Recognize this resistance for what it is: fear. Fear of change, fear of letting go, fear of discovering who you really are beyond your conditioned identity. And when you recognize it as fear, it loses its power. You can say to yourself, there's fear, there's resistance. That's natural. But I'm going to practice anyway. And you do. You practice despite the resistance, not because you've overcome it, but because you've recognized it and chosen not to let it control you. This is courage. This is growth. This is transformation. Here's the 10th technique, and this one is about creating the optimal environment for sleep. You can practice all the meditation techniques in the world, but if your bedroom is not conducive to sleep, you're making things harder than they need to be. So let's talk about sleep hygiene, the practical, physical aspects of creating good sleep. First, your bedroom should be dark, really dark. Light signals to your brain that it's time to be awake. So even small amounts of light can interfere with sleep. Use blackout curtains if necessary. Cover any LED lights from electronics. Make your room as dark as a cave. Second, your bedroom should be cool. Your body temperature naturally drops when you sleep, and a cool room facilitates this. Most people sleep best in a room that's between 60 and 67 degrees Fahrenheit. Third, your bedroom should be quiet. If you live in a noisy environment, use earplugs or a white noise machine to mask disruptive sounds. Fourth, your bed should be comfortable. If your mattress is old or uncomfortable, if your pillows don't support you properly, you're creating unnecessary obstacles to sleep. Invest in good bedding. It's worth it. Fifth, Reserve your bedroom for sleep and intimacy only. Don't work in your bedroom. Don't watch television in your bedroom. Don't argue in your bedroom. Train your brain to associate your bedroom with sleep and relaxation only. These might seem like small things, but they matter. They create the container within which your meditation practice can be most effective. Let me talk to you now about something that's crucial: consistency. The techniques I'm teaching you work, but they work through repetition, through practice, through consistency. You can't practice once and expect permanent results. You can't practice sporadically and expect dramatic change. You need to practice every single night, without exception, until these techniques become automatic, until they're wired into your nervous system, until they're your new normal. I know this requires discipline. I know it's not easy, especially at first, when you're tired and frustrated and you just want to sleep and you don't want to do a body scan or count your breaths. But this is exactly when you need to practice most. This is when the transformation happens. Every time you choose to practice when you don't feel like it, you're strengthening your will. You're building new neural pathways. You're proving to yourself that you're serious about change. And here's what happens. At first, the practice feels like effort, like work, like something you have to force yourself to do. But if you persist, if you practice every night for 2 weeks, 3 weeks, a month, something shifts. The practice starts to feel natural, easy, even enjoyable. You start to look forward to it. It becomes your favorite part of the day, this time of turning inward, of letting go, of coming home to yourself. And at that point, the practice maintains itself. You don't have to force it anymore. It's become part of who you are. Here's the 11th technique, and this one is about gratitude. I know that might seem unrelated to sleep, but bear with me. Many people can't sleep because their minds are filled with complaints, resentments, regrets, and worries. They're focused on what's wrong, what's missing, what's not working. This creates a negative emotional state that's incompatible with peaceful sleep. So here's what you do. Before you begin your other meditation practices, spend a few minutes in gratitude. Think of 3 things you're genuinely grateful for from your day. They don't have to be big things. Maybe you're grateful for a good cup of coffee, or a kind word from a friend, or the fact that your body is healthy enough to lie in this comfortable bed. Really feel the gratitude. Don't just think it. Let it warm your chest. Let it soften your face. Let it relax your body. What you're doing is shifting your emotional state from negative to positive, from contraction to expansion, from stress to ease. And from this state of gratitude and ease, sleep comes much more naturally. This is not just positive thinking or fake optimism. This is recognizing the good that actually exists in your life, the good that you usually overlook because you're so focused on problems. And when you train yourself to notice the good, to appreciate it, to feel grateful for it, your whole emotional baseline shifts. You become a more positive, more peaceful, more content person, not just at night, but all day long. Now, let me address a question that might be on your mind. What about medication? Should you use sleep medication along with these techniques or instead of them? Here's my perspective. Medication can be useful as a short-term solution, but it's not a long-term answer. Sleep medications don't address the root cause of sleeplessness. They just suppress the symptoms, and they come with side effects. Dependency, tolerance, next day grogginess, interference with natural sleep architecture, and in some cases, serious health risks. What I'm teaching you addresses the root cause, the untrained, overactive mind, and it has no negative side effects, only positive ones. So my recommendation is this: if you're currently using sleep medication and it's working for you, that's fine. Continue using it while you learn and practice these meditation techniques. But as your meditation practice deepens, as your natural sleep improves, work with your doctor to gradually reduce and eventually eliminate the medication. Let meditation become your medicine. Let your own consciousness, your own awareness, your own inner peace be what helps you sleep. This is sustainable, this is empowering, this is freedom. You are not dependent on a pill, on a doctor, on a pharmaceutical company. You are dependent only on yourself, on your practice, on your commitment to your own well-being. And that's real power. Let me give you the 12th technique now. And this one is about working with emotions. Sometimes what keeps you awake is not thoughts but feelings. Anxiety, sadness, anger, loneliness, grief. These emotions can be overwhelming, and your instinct might be to push them away, to distract yourself, to numb them, but that doesn't work. Suppressed emotions don't disappear, they go underground and create even more disturbance. So here's a different approach. Feel them fully. This technique is called emotional meditation. And here's how it works. When you notice a strong emotion arising, instead of pushing it away or getting lost in the story about why you feel this way, bring your attention directly to the felt sense of the emotion in your body. Where do you feel it? In your chest, your stomach, your throat? What does it feel like? Is it tight, heavy, hot, cold, sharp, dull? Explore it with curiosity, like a scientist examining a fascinating phenomenon. Don't think about it, just feel it. And here's the key: feel it without resistance, without judgment, without trying to change it. Just allow it to be exactly as it is. What you'll discover is amazing. When you stop resisting an emotion and simply feel it fully, it transforms. It might intensify for a moment, but then it starts to dissolve, to release, to move through you. Emotions are energy in motion. That's what the word means. When you allow them to move, they move through and out. When you resist them, they get stuck. So this practice of feeling your emotions fully, without resistance, is incredibly healing. It releases emotional blockages that might have been stuck in your body for years. And as these blockages release, you feel lighter, more peaceful, more free, and you sleep better because you're not carrying all that suppressed emotional weight anymore. I want to talk to you about something that might be uncomfortable but necessary: the relationship between sleep and mortality. You know you're going to die, right? I don't mean to be morbid, but this is a fact. You have a limited number of days, a limited number of nights, and every night you spend lying awake, anxious and miserable, is a night you can't get back. It's gone forever. How many more nights do you have? If you're 50 years old and you live to 80, you have about 11,000 nights left. If you're 60 and you live to 80, you have about 7,000 nights left. Sounds like a lot, doesn't it? But think about how fast the years go by. Think about how quickly the last 10 years passed. The next 20 will go even faster. So those thousands of nights are going to disappear quickly. And the question is, how do you want to spend them? Lying awake, worried and exhausted, or resting peacefully, gathering energy for the next day's living? This is not a trivial question. This is about the quality of the time you have left. This is about whether you're going to truly live these remaining years or just survive them. And I'm telling you, you cannot fully live if you cannot fully rest. The two go together. Deep rest enables deep living. So, when you practice these meditation techniques, you're not just trying to solve a sleep problem, you're choosing to fully live the time you have left. You're honoring your life, your precious, limited, irreplaceable life. And that's a sacred act. Here's the 13th technique, and this one brings us full circle to where we started. It's called the acceptance meditation, and it's perhaps the most profound of all. Here's the paradox at the heart of sleep difficulty. The more you want to sleep, the more you try to sleep, the more awake you become. Desire and effort create tension, and tension prevents sleep. So what's the solution? Acceptance. Complete, total acceptance of whatever is happening right now. If you're awake, accept that you're awake. Don't fight it, don't judge it, don't hate it. Just accept it. Say to yourself, right now I'm awake. That's okay. I accept this. I don't need to be asleep this very moment. I can just be here, awake, and that's fine. This might seem like giving up, but it's not. It's actually the opposite. It's taking back your power from the tyranny of should. You should be asleep. You should be able to sleep easily. You should not have this problem. All of these shoulds create suffering. Reality is what it is, and when you fight reality, you suffer. When you accept reality, you find peace. And here's the magic. The moment you truly accept being awake, the moment you stop fighting it, sleep becomes possible again. Because you've released the tension, you've stopped the struggle, you've relaxed into what is. And from that relaxation, that acceptance, that peace, sleep can naturally arise. This acceptance meditation is not just about sleep, it's a whole approach to life. How much of your suffering comes from non-acceptance? You don't accept your body, your age, your circumstances, your past, other people, yourself. You're constantly fighting what is, wishing it were different, trying to force reality to match your preferences. And this creates endless suffering. But when you practice acceptance, when you learn to say yes to what is, not as resignation, but as a conscious choice, everything changes. You're no longer at war with life. You're in harmony with it. You're flowing with it instead of against it. And from this place of acceptance, paradoxically, real change becomes possible. Because you're not wasting your energy fighting what is. You can use that energy to create what could be. But it starts with accepting what is. It starts with this moment exactly as it is, including you exactly as you are, including your sleep difficulty exactly as it is. Accept it all. Welcome it all. Say yes to all of it and watch what happens. Now, we've covered 13 techniques, and you might be wondering, do I need to use all of them? Which ones should I focus on? Here's my suggestion. Start with the ones that resonate most with you. Maybe the witness meditation feels right, or the body scan, or the breath counting. Start there. Practice that one technique consistently for a week. Get familiar with it. Let it become natural. Then, if you want, add another technique, or maybe that one technique is enough. There's no rule that says you have to use all 13. These are tools, and different tools work for different people. The important thing is not which technique you use, but that you practice consistently, with commitment, with patience, with trust. One technique practiced deeply is worth more than 13 techniques practiced superficially. So don't overwhelm yourself trying to do everything. Choose what feels right, practice it fully, and trust that it will work. And if after a while you feel called to explore other techniques, do that. Let your practice evolve naturally. Let it be a living thing, not a rigid formula. I want to address one more thing before we go deeper: the question of expectations. You might be expecting that if you practice these techniques, you'll immediately start sleeping 8 perfect hours every night, waking up refreshed and energized, never having another sleep difficulty ever again. And if that happens, wonderful, but it might not. Change is usually gradual. You might notice small improvements at first: falling asleep 10 minutes faster, waking up one less time during the night, feeling slightly more rested in the morning. These small improvements might not seem like much, but they're significant. They're evidence that the techniques are working, that your nervous system is changing, that new patterns are forming. Appreciate these small improvements instead of dismissing them because they're not dramatic enough. Celebrate them. Let them encourage you to keep practicing. And trust that small improvements accumulate into big transformations. The person who falls asleep 10 minutes faster every night saves more than 60 hours of lying awake over the course of a year. That's significant. So don't underestimate small changes, and don't give up if you don't see immediate dramatic results. Transformation takes time. Be patient, be consistent, and trust the process. Let me tell you a story. There was a man who came to me many years ago, desperate for help with his sleep. He had suffered from insomnia for over 20 years. He had tried everything: medications, therapy, sleep clinics, every technique and trick anyone had ever suggested. Nothing worked. He was exhausted, depressed, at the end of his rope. I taught him the same techniques I'm teaching you now. He was skeptical, understandably. He had been disappointed so many times before. But he was also desperate enough to try one more thing. So he practiced. Every night, he did the witness meditation and the body scan. For the first week, nothing changed. He was ready to give up, but I encouraged him to continue, to give it more time. The second week, he noticed a small shift. He was still lying awake for hours, but he felt less anxious about it. The third week, he started falling asleep a little faster. The fourth week, he had his first full night of sleep in 20 years. He woke up crying. He was so grateful. From that point on, his sleep continued to improve. It wasn't perfect every night, but it was so much better than it had been. And more importantly, his whole relationship with sleep changed. He was no longer terrified of bedtime. He no longer felt like a victim of his insomnia. He had tools, he had practices, he had agency, and that changed everything. This man's story is not unique. I've seen this pattern hundreds of times. People who have suffered for years, even decades, finding relief through these simple practices. And you can too. Your history of sleep difficulty doesn't determine your future. Every night is a new opportunity. Every moment is a fresh start. Now, let's go even deeper into the witness meditation, because this is really the foundation of everything else. When I say witness your thoughts, what exactly does that mean? Let me give you a more detailed understanding. Normally, you are identified with your thoughts. A thought arises, I'm worried about money, and immediately you become that worry. You don't see it as a thought. You experience it as reality, as who you are in this moment. The thought and the thinker collapse into one. There's no gap, no space, no perspective. This is called identification, and it's the source of all psychological suffering. But there's another possibility. You can observe the thought without becoming it. The thought, I'm worried about money, arises and you notice it. There's a thought about money, worry. Do you see the difference? In the first case, you are the worry. In the second case, you are the one observing the worry. In the first case, you're lost in the content of the thought. In the second case, you're aware of the thought as a thought. This distinction is everything. Because when you are identified with your thoughts, you have no choice. The thoughts control you, drive you, create your emotional state, determine your actions. But when you're witnessing your thoughts, you have freedom. The thoughts can come and go, but you remain stable, centered, at peace. You're like the sky watching clouds pass. The clouds might be dark or light, stormy or peaceful, but the sky is unaffected. It remains vast, open, clear. This is your true nature, the witnessing awareness, the consciousness that observes all experience but is not affected by any experience. How do you develop this witnessing capacity? Through practice, through repetition, through bringing your attention again and again to the act of observing. Every time you notice a thought and recognize it as a thought, you're strengthening the witness. Every time you step back from identification and into observation, you're deepening your awareness. At first, this might happen only occasionally in brief flashes. Most of the time, you'll still be identified, lost in thought. But those brief flashes are precious. They're glimpses of your true nature, and with practice, those glimpses become more frequent, more sustained. You start to spend more time in witnessing and less time in identification, and your whole experience of life transforms. Because when you're witnessing, you're at peace. Problems still exist, challenges still arise, thoughts and emotions still come and go, but you're not disturbed by them. You're like a mountain watching a storm. The storm is real, it's happening, but the mountain is unmoved. This is the peace that passes understanding. This is the peace that's always available right here, right now, in this moment. If you shift from thinking to witnessing, from doing to being, from identification to awareness. Let me guide you through a witnessing meditation right now so you can experience what I'm talking about directly. Even though you might be listening to this while lying in bed, you can still practice. Close your eyes if they're not already closed. Take a deep breath, and as you exhale, let your body relax. Now, Bring your attention to your thoughts. Don't try to control them or change them. Just watch them. A thought arises. Notice it. There's a thought. What is the thought about? Doesn't matter. Just notice that thinking is happening. The thought passes. Another thought arises. Notice it. There's another thought. Watch it like you would watch a bird flying across the sky. You see it, you notice it, but you don't chase it. You don't grab it. You just let it fly by. Another thought comes and another. Just keep watching. And as you watch, notice who is watching, who is aware of these thoughts. There's thinking happening and there's awareness of thinking happening. You are not the thinking, you are the awareness. You are the space in which thinking appears. Rest in this awareness. Be this awareness. You don't have to do anything, achieve anything, become anything. You already are this awareness. You've always been this awareness. You just forgot because you were so identified with your thoughts. But now you're remembering. Now you're recognizing your true nature. And in this recognition, there is peace. There is rest. There is home. Stay here as long as you like. And if you fall asleep from this place of witnessing awareness, your sleep will be deep and peaceful because you're not carrying the burden of identification into sleep. You're resting as pure awareness, and pure awareness needs no effort, no struggle, no control. It simply is. This witnessing practice is not just for bedtime. You can practice it anytime, anywhere. Sitting, standing, walking, working, talking, eating. Any moment can be a moment of witnessing. Any activity can be done from the space of awareness instead of from identification. And the more you practice during the day, the more natural it becomes at night. So I encourage you, make witnessing a way of life, not just a technique for sleep. Throughout your day, pause occasionally and ask yourself, what am I thinking right now? What am I feeling right now? And just observe the answer without judgment. This takes only a few seconds, but it's incredibly powerful. It brings you out of automatic pilot and into conscious presence. It reminds you that you are not your thoughts, not your emotions, not your circumstances. You are the awareness in which all of these appear. And from this awareness, you can respond to life instead of reacting to it. You can make conscious choices instead of being driven by unconscious patterns. You can live instead of being lived. Now, let's talk about the body scan in more depth because this is another foundational practice. Your body is always in the present moment. It's never in the past or the future. It's here, now. So, when you bring your full attention to your body, you're automatically brought into the present. And the present moment, as I've said, has no problems. Problems exist in time, past regrets, future worries. But right now, in this timeless moment of pure sensation, there is just what is. And what is, when experienced directly without mental commentary, is never a problem. It's just sensation, just experience, just life happening. The body scan trains you to experience life directly instead of through the filter of your thinking mind. And this is liberating because your thinking mind is always comparing, judging, wanting things to be different. But direct experience has no comparison, no judgment, no desire for change. It's just pure awareness of what is. And in that pure awareness, there is peace. Let me guide you through a more detailed body scan now. Bring your attention to your left foot. Feel your toes, each one individually if you can. Feel the sole of your foot, the top of your foot, your heel, your ankle. Don't think about your foot. Feel it. Notice temperature, texture, sensation. Is there tingling, numbness, warmth, coolness, pressure, lightness? Just observe whatever is there. Spend a full minute just feeling your left foot. Now move to your left calf. Feel the muscle, the skin, the bone underneath. Notice any tension or relaxation. Notice any sensations. Just feel now your left knee, the kneecap, the joint, the space inside the knee. Now your left thigh, the front, the back, the inner thigh, the outer thigh. Take your time. Really feel. Now your right foot. Again, toes, sole, top, heel, ankle. Feel everything. Right calf, right knee, right thigh. Now your pelvis, your sitting bones, your hips, the whole pelvic area. Now your lower back and your abdomen. Feel your internal organs, your breathing, any sensations in this area. Now your chest, your heart beating, your lungs expanding and contracting, your rib cage. Now your upper back and shoulders. Notice tension here especially. Most people carry enormous tension in their shoulders without realizing it. Feel it, acknowledge it, but don't try to change it. Just witness it. Now your left arm, upper arm, elbow, forearm, wrist, hand, each finger. Now your right arm in the same way. Now your neck, front, back, sides. Now your face, your jaw, your mouth, your cheeks, your nose, your eyes, your forehead, your scalp. Feel everything. And finally, feel your whole body as one unified field of sensation. From your toes to the top of your head, feel it all at once. Rest in this whole body awareness. You are not thinking about your body. You are being your body. You are embodied awareness. And in this state, sleep comes naturally because there's no mental resistance, no mental activity, just pure sensation, pure presence, pure being. The breath counting meditation deserves deeper exploration too. Your breath is a miracle. You've been breathing every moment of your life, mostly unconsciously. Your breath has kept you alive without you having to think about it. But when you bring conscious attention to your breath, it becomes a bridge between your conscious and unconscious mind, between your will and your autonomy, between your surface self and your deep self. Watching your breath is like watching the tide. It has its own rhythm, its own intelligence, its own naturalness. You don't have to make it happen. It's already happening. Your job is simply to observe it, to be with it, to let it teach you how to surrender, how to trust, how to let go. Because breathing is the ultimate act of surrender. You breathe in, you breathe out. You can't hold on. You have to let go with every exhale. And this letting go with every breath is a practice for the ultimate letting go, the letting go into sleep, and eventually the letting go into death. When you're comfortable letting go with each breath, you become comfortable letting go into sleep. And when you're comfortable letting go into sleep, you become comfortable with life because you're no longer holding on so tightly. controlling so desperately, fearing so intensely. Let me guide you through a breath meditation now, a longer, deeper version. Close your eyes. Bring your attention to your breath. Don't change it, just notice it. Where do you feel it most clearly? In your nostrils, in your chest, in your belly. Find the place where the sensation of breathing is most obvious to you and rest your attention there. Now, as you breathe in, count 1 silently in your mind. As you breathe out, count 2. Next inhale 3, next exhale 4. Continue up to 10 and then start over at 1. If you lose count, which you will, just start over at 1. No problem, no judgment, just begin again. Keep doing this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, over and over. Your mind will wander. That's guaranteed. You might count to 3 and suddenly realize you're thinking about what you have to do tomorrow. That's fine. The moment you notice you've wandered, you've woken up. That's a moment of awareness. Celebrate it silently and return to counting. 1. Start fresh. This is the practice. Wandering and returning. Wandering and returning. 1,000 times if necessary. Each return strengthens your awareness, your presence, your ability to choose where you place your attention. And gradually, the wandering becomes less frequent, the counting becomes smoother, your breath becomes deeper and slower, your mind becomes quieter, and you drift into that space between waking and sleeping, that delicious space of deep relaxation and peace. The progressive muscle relaxation technique is based on a simple physiological principle. You cannot be mentally anxious and physically relaxed at the same time. It's impossible. Your mental state and your physical state are intimately connected. So by deliberately relaxing your muscles, you're sending a signal to your brain that everything is okay, that there's no danger, that it's safe to rest. And your brain responds by reducing stress hormones, activating the parasympathetic nervous system, and initiating the cascade of changes that lead to sleep. Let me guide you through this practice in more detail now. Start with your feet. Curl your toes as tightly as you can. Really squeeze them. Hold for 5 seconds, feeling the tension, and then suddenly release. Let everything go soft and loose. Feel the difference. Feel the relief. Notice how much better relaxation feels after tension. Now, flex your feet, pointing your toes toward your head, creating tension in your calves. Hold for 5 seconds and release. Now press your knees together, tensing your thighs. Hold and release. Now tighten your buttocks. Hold and release. Now pull your belly in, making it hard and tight. Hold and release. Now take a deep breath and hold it, creating tension in your chest. Hold for 5 seconds and then exhale completely, releasing all the tension. Now raise your shoulders up toward your ears, creating tension in your shoulders and neck. Hold and release, letting your shoulders drop. Now make fists with your hands, squeezing tightly. Hold and release, spreading your fingers wide. Now tense your arms, making them stiff and hard. Hold and release. Now scrunch up your face, squeezing your eyes shut, clenching your jaw, wrinkling your forehead. Hold and then release everything, letting your face go completely soft. Now, tense your entire body at once. Every muscle from your toes to your head. Hold for 5 seconds and then release everything completely. Feel your body sink into the bed, heavy, relaxed, soft. Notice the difference between how you felt before this exercise and how you feel now. This is what relaxation feels like. This is the state your body needs to be in for sleep. And you can create this state anytime you choose through this practice. The paradoxical intention technique, where you try to stay awake, works because it removes the performance anxiety around sleep. So much of sleep difficulty is created by anxiety about not sleeping. You lie there thinking, I have to fall asleep, I have to fall asleep. And this very thought creates arousal, creates tension, prevents sleep. It's like trying to force yourself to have fun. The effort defeats the purpose. But when you give yourself permission to stay awake, when you remove the pressure to sleep, your nervous system can relax. There's no goal to achieve, no performance to deliver, nothing to worry about. And from that relaxation, sleep comes naturally. This technique is particularly useful for people who have developed a fear of bedtime, a fear of lying awake, a fear of not sleeping. If that's you, try this. Tonight, when you get into bed, say to yourself, I'm going to stay awake all night. I'm going to set a record for the longest I've ever stayed awake. I'm going to witness the entire night from bedtime to morning. And then just lie there, eyes open or closed, trying to stay awake. But here's the rule. You can't do anything stimulating. You can't think about problems. You can't plan. You can't get up and do things. You just lie there, trying to stay awake, but doing nothing. What will happen? You'll probably fall asleep within minutes. Because without the pressure to sleep, without the fear of not sleeping, your natural sleep mechanism can function. Try it, you'll be surprised. The gratitude practice is more powerful than most people realize. Gratitude is not just a nice feeling, it's a specific emotional state that has measurable effects on your brain and body. When you feel genuine gratitude, your brain produces dopamine and serotonin, the neurotransmitters associated with happiness and well-being. Your heart rhythm becomes more coherent, more harmonious. Your nervous system shifts from sympathetic dominance, the stress response, to parasympathetic dominance, the relaxation response. All of this happens automatically just from feeling grateful. So when you practice gratitude before sleep, you're literally changing your brain chemistry in a way that promotes sleep. But it has to be genuine. You can't just think, I'm supposed to be grateful and expect results. You have to actually feel it. So think of something specific that you're genuinely grateful for. Maybe it's your health, or a person you love, or a beautiful moment you experienced today, or the fact that you have a safe place to sleep. Really connect with it. Remember it in detail. Feel the warmth of gratitude in your chest. Let it spread through your body. Smile, even if you're alone in the dark. This is not fake positivity. This is recognizing the genuine good that exists in your life. And when you do this regularly, you train your brain to notice the good instead of only the bad. You become a more positive person, not through denial of problems, but through balanced awareness of both problems and blessings. The emotional meditation practice is perhaps the most healing of all, because most people have decades of suppressed emotions stored in their body. You've been taught to be strong, to not show weakness, to keep your emotions under control. So you push down your sadness, your anger, your fear, your grief. You smiled when you wanted to cry, stayed silent when you wanted to scream, pretended everything was fine when you were falling apart. And all of that suppressed emotion has to go somewhere. It goes into your body, creating tension, pain, illness, and yes, sleep disturbance. Because you can't fully relax when you're using energy to keep emotions suppressed. So the practice of feeling your emotions fully without resistance is incredibly liberating. It releases all that stored tension. It allows you to finally process and integrate experiences that you've been avoiding for years. And it teaches you that emotions are not dangerous. They're just energy, they can't hurt you. What hurts is resisting them, suppressing them, being afraid of them. When you allow them to be, when you feel them fully, they move through you and release, leaving you lighter, clearer, more peaceful. Let me guide you through an emotional meditation. Bring your attention to your body and notice if there's any emotional sensation present. Maybe there's anxiety in your chest, or sadness in your throat, or anger in your belly. Find it. Now, instead of thinking about why you feel this way, instead of getting into the story, bring your full attention to the physical sensation itself. Where exactly is it located? What's its size, its shape, its temperature? Is it moving or still? Does it have a color? Really explore it with curiosity. And here's the key. Welcome it. Say to it silently or out loud, "You're welcome here. You're allowed to be here. I'm not going to push you away or try to change you. I'm just going to feel you fully." And then do that. Feel it with your complete attention. You might notice it intensifying at first. That's okay. Stay with it. Keep feeling it. And then, after a while, you might notice it starting to shift, to soften, to dissolve. Or it might not. It might just stay there. Either way is fine. You're not trying to make it go away. You're just feeling it, being with it, accepting it. This is the practice. And if tears come, let them. If sounds want to come out, let them. If you need to shake or move, let your body move. Don't control it. Just allow whatever wants to happen. This is healing. This is release. This is coming home to yourself, to all of yourself, including the parts you've been rejecting and avoiding. The acceptance meditation is the culmination of all the other practices. Acceptance doesn't mean you like everything, or that you're passive, or that you give up on change. Acceptance means you acknowledge reality as it is right now, without resistance, without judgment, without wishing it were different. And from that clear seeing of what is, you can respond appropriately. But you can't respond appropriately when you're busy fighting reality, denying it, resisting it. So acceptance is actually the foundation for effective action. But more than that, acceptance is the foundation for peace. Because all suffering comes from resistance to what is. The present moment, exactly as it is never the problem. The problem is your resistance to it, your judgment of it, your story about it. When you drop the resistance, when you accept what is, suffering ends. Not the situation necessarily, but your suffering about the situation. This is a radical teaching, and it takes practice to really understand it, to embody it. But it's the truth, and you can test it right now. Whatever you're experiencing in this moment, your body sensations, your thoughts, your emotions, your circumstances, try accepting it completely. Say yes to all of it. Stop fighting it. Stop wishing it were different. Just let it be exactly as it is. And notice, in that acceptance, there is peace. There might still be discomfort, there might still be challenges, but there's no suffering, because suffering is resistance. Peace is acceptance. Let me tell you something important. You are not broken. You don't need to be fixed. Your sleep difficulty is not a sign that something is fundamentally wrong with you. It's just a pattern, a habit, a learned response that can be unlearned. You are whole, complete, perfect as you are. And these practices I'm teaching you are not about fixing you, they're about removing the obstacles to your natural state of peace and rest. It's like cleaning a dirty window. The window is already there, already whole, already capable of letting light through. The dirt is just obscuring it. Clean away the dirt, and the window's true nature is revealed. Same with you. Your true nature is peaceful, restful, aware, present. But it's been obscured by years of conditioning, by learned patterns of thinking and reacting, by accumulated tension and suppressed emotion. These practices clean away that obscuration. They don't give you something you don't have. They reveal what you already are. And that's beautiful. That means you don't have to become someone else. You don't have to achieve some special state. You just have to remove the obstacles, and your true nature shines through naturally. I want to talk about consistency again, because this is where most people fail. They practice for a few nights, don't see immediate dramatic results, and give up. Or they practice when they remember, sporadically, inconsistently, and wonder why it's not working. Let me be very clear. These techniques work, but only if you practice them consistently. Every single night, without exception, for at least a month. That's the minimum commitment required to retrain your mind and body, to unlearn the habit of sleeplessness, and remember the natural art of letting go. Think of it not as a chore, but as a nightly act of profound self-love. You are giving yourself the gift of presence, the gift of peace. It is a declaration that you are worthy of rest, worthy of tranquility. And now, the time for instruction is over. The time for understanding is over. The only thing left is to simply be here, in this bed, in this darkness, in this silence. You have done the work. You have listened. You have practiced. Now you must let it all go. Let go of the techniques. Let go of the effort to sleep. Sleep is not something you do. It is something that happens to you when you stop doing everything else. So stop. Stop trying. Stop waiting. Stop expecting. Simply rest. Feel the weight of your body sinking into the mattress. A deep, heavy, delicious surrender. Let the breath breathe itself. It knows what to do. You don't need to manage it. Your heart is beating. Your body is healing. All is happening on its own. You can trust this process. You can trust your body. Imagine yourself as a drop of water returning to the ocean. The boundaries of your body begin to soften, to blur. You are melting into the darkness, into the vast, silent ocean of consciousness. There is nothing to hold on to, nothing to fear. This is your true home, a space of infinite peace, of profound rest. There is nothing more to do, nowhere else to be. Just this, just here,